What do you take out of last night's game against the Chiefs, Tom?
I agree wholeheartedly with Mike and have felt that way for a while, that you don't really know what teams are even going to try to do until after Columbus Day. But the Patriots, first off, I think offensively, it wasn't as bad as it looked. It was interesting to hear Tom Brady and Nate Solder and Daron Harmon all lament the lack of energy, intensity, and competitiveness that the team exhibited. But offensively, I think that goes to some of the fourth downs they weren't able to convert. And the outgrowth there being, look, we weren't tough enough. But I also look at the absence of Julian Edelman in so many different ways. One, if he's out there, you have an opportunity on 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1 to have him run one of those quick option routes where he shakes people loose or at least draw attention. Instead, the Patriots were kind of in a bunch formation and a bunched-up formation and ran into a 10-man front and didn't get it. Edelman also, they didn't even challenge the middle of the field, Rich. And with Edelman, they can do that because he can get separation even if it's cluttered. Hogan's not that kind of player. He had 1 catch for 8 yards. Gronk had 2 catches for 33, and on both of them, he was pretty well covered. As much as people resist the idea of it, Edelman leads to Gronk. Gronk doesn't lead to Edelman because Edelman draws so much attention that eventually Gronkowski profits from it. There's no one getting separation. They don't have to send a second guy at anyone except for Cooks, who's a perimeter guy anyway, and they couldn't get it to him too much in the middle. So I think those were huge parts, plus that intensity that Edelman brings. He's kind of an enforcer type. They'll figure it out on offense, but Rich, defense, it really was astonishing to see those explosive plays, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but it's also two young kids. I mean, in Hill and Hunt that have incredible speed, and I'm thinking that the Patriots are going to see that quite a bit this year from a lot of young guys. That's part of the reason why they went and got Brandon Cooks. I mean, nobody can run with him. They know that that's the way this league is going, is with speed. So before we get to the defense, though, and leave the offense, Tom, I do want to just touch on, to use the phrase, the famous Patino phrase, Julian Edelman's not walking through that door. So how do they fix it on offense? Do they go with more of the running backs to create more matchup problems and use those guys in the middle of the field? Is that what they do?
I think that's exactly what they need to do. And you saw James White on the field a little bit more toward the end of the game, and he was trying to get out there into those option routes where he would shake loose, but they're going to have to start doing that. But see, Edelman is just unique in terms of the speed with which he gets open, and that's the interesting thing with Brady is we all understand how unbelievable he is in his resume, but the skills that he has, which is brain, accuracy, velocity on short area throws, that's what the offense is built around. It's not built around him throwing outside on 20-yard comebacks and back shoulder throws when a guy's well covered. That's not what the whole thing's predicated on. So it puts him at a position where he's throwing lower percentage passes that he would prefer not to throw. He wants to throw the run and catch stuff until they figure out how they're going to address that, or they improve on the outside just with reps. It's going to be a hard slog.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you liked some of that, get some more of that on the Rich Eisen Show app. Follow all the information you see right here on the Rich Eisen Show.